Alright, okay. Hey guys, how's it going? So, let's just go and get into it. So yeah, this video is going to be a very simple video. It's just going to talk about one of the most simple checkmating patterns that there is. It's when you use two rooks to checkmate your opponent. So let me just go to my library here. I'm going to try to create a... Oh, okay, one second, let me follow you back. So, yeah, I'm going to try to go to my library of games over here and try to pick a game where most of the pieces have been taken off before I won. Okay. Okay, so let's just use this game. Go to the analysis board. I'm going to just try to make a scenario. Okay, one second. Let me just pause the recording and I will be back when the scenario is set up. Alright, so here we are. Here's the scenario. Okay, the black king has no pieces, so it's a very simple scenario. It's extremely easy for white to make a checkmate in this situation. Okay, so I got two rooks and a pawn. I'm just going to ignore the pawn, and he's just alone. So it's his turn right now, and let's just move here. I'm just get my king. Put my king to the side, just so it'll be easier to kind of show this. So just quickly, I should let you know, like, what's checkmating your opponent again, right? Checkmating your opponent means that you're getting his king into a check which he can't escape, right? So you're basically trying to trap him. Now, generally a trap has borders, right? Those borders are trying to go and keep your opponent in place. You don't want your opponent running away, right? So, you know, a trap has borders, it has walls. And if you take a look at the rook, where a rook can go, right? One second, with the king. See, look, see all these dots? This is where the rook can go, okay? All the way down here, anywhere here, right? And these lines are kind of like walls because, again, it's illegal in chess for a king to put himself in check. So, you know, if I move my rook here, right? So once again, the lines are acting like walls. Okay, if I wanted to move, or I mean, if black wanted to move his king here, it doesn't work, you see? Let's click on him, and you'll see the squares with the dots are the only legal places for that king to move. And you'll see that any of the squares in front of the king over here are not options because this rook is covering this line. Alright, so that's just something to keep in mind when you're using your pieces. So now let's think about how we can trap this king. Well, let's say the king moves here, okay? I'm going to try moving my rook here, putting the king in check. Alright? Now, the king can't move over here, or here, or here, to escape the check by this rook, right? Because this rook is covering these squares. So the only thing you can do now, I mean, the only thing this king can do now, as you can see, this rook just took away this and this square from the king. The only available squares for this black king are here, here, and here. So the king's going to have to move backwards. So let's say he moves backwards over here. I'm not sure if you can start seeing the pattern. Now I can just move my rook right here. You see? And once again, the king can't go forward, can't go to the side. The only place the king can go are one of these three squares which are below it. So once again, the king has to move down. And now, as you can see, you know, quite a few moves ago, right? Let's see. No, I'm sorry. Okay, did I go too far back? Yeah, some moves ago, right? This king had all this area, everything within this square to move around. Okay, that was its free space. But by this point, the king's free space has become lessened to this smaller square. we just took away, this whole area from the king, right? Everything here has been taken away. The king's in a smaller area now, and that's what we're going to keep doing. We're going to just keep going, putting the king in check. King's got to move away, right? Again, he's in a smaller area. Now, only over here. Only that's what's available. So now, put him in check again, right? And just keep making that box smaller. And, okay, the king's going to have to move down. But in this case, he moves down here. And keep in mind that the king does have a smaller space, but right now your rook is under attack. The king can go and kill your rook next move. So if you don't pay too much attention and you decide to keep rolling down with the rooks and put him in check over here, boom, the king can just take. And all your hard work, slowly pushing the king into a corner or onto a side was for nothing, right? You just gave up a rook. Then you're going to have to now work to push this pawn all the way down, make a queen or a rook or whatever, and try doing a checkmate sequence again. So let's not just waste our time, right? So instead of putting him in check, you have to be mindful. Okay, right now, this guy's under attack, so I'm going to take it slow. Let's not go and, put him in check right away. Let's first maybe do a move like this. Connect the rooks. They're protecting each other. And again, this king is now in a very small space, right? It's black's move, and he has to make a move if he's not going to resign, right? And he can't move here, he can't take the rook, can't go up, right? This rook is covering all these lines, and this rook is protecting this rook, right? So, in this case, the black king has no other choice. He's got to move either, here, here, or here. So, let's say black decides to prolong checkmate. All right, so he moves here. Well, okay, come down, put him in check again. And now, black has to move down once again. So let's say black moves here. So once again, you have to be mindful. You can't just go and say, aha, checkmate, because now both lines are taken and the king has no escape. Because the king does have an escape. The king can just take the rook. Because, again, nothing's protecting this rook. And this rook, even though he's putting the king in check, he's also putting himself under attack by the king. So, in this case, don't go all the way down. Take it easy, be patient. And once again, the king cannot move up or down anymore. Right down, that's the end of the board. Can't go up because of these rooks. And he can't go this way because this rook is still blocking this square, right? So he's got to move to the side. That's the only move in that situation. And now it doesn't matter. It could be this rook, it could be that rook. That's it. Checkmate. Okay? The king can't take the piece that's checking it. The king has no other pieces. No, like, let's say, bishop to come down and maybe block the check by the rook, right? Can't go up, can't go to the side. The king is totally stuck. It's game over. All right, so that's just one simple technique to checkmate. Just rolling down with the rooks and keeping in mind how much, exactly what lines your pieces are controlling. The same goes with the queen. The same goes with the bishop. Think about, the areas that it controls. Let's say if there's a queen here, right? It's going to control here, here. Oops. Right, we've got a queen over there in that square. It's going to control all these lines and as well as all the diagonals, right? So again, just keep all these things in mind and you'll find it a lot easier to checkmate. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and yeah, see you.